Hello guys, welcome back. In today's video, we are going to see top 20 SQL question asked in the Java interviews. So this question become important because these are the basic question mostly asked in almost in any interviews. So out of this 20 question, you will face any one of the question in your interview. So stay with me until the end of the videos so that you can answer it in your interviews properly. So first and most common interview question here is like what is the difference between inner join, left join, right join, full join, or anything from this will be asked by the interviewer. Like what is the explain inner join, what is the left join, what is the right join, what is the full join. So at that time you must have a clarity what to answer to the interviewers. So let's get started with this first inner join. So what is inner join? What inner join does, like it return matching record from both the tables. So imagine you have two tables, like one is employee and one is department. So what it will do, it based on the our condition, it will return all the employees who have the department. So what is the query for this? Like select e dot name. So we are specifying a few column from the table. So then we are using inner join here, inner join department table, and we are joining that based on the ID of the employee dot department ID and D dot department ID. So department ID is the foreign reference in the employee table. So that is how inner join work. Then what is the left join? Left join return all left table record plus matching right. So based on the condition. Here again we have condition like all employees even if department is missing. So we need to specify the last to the condition here. Then what is right join? Right join all records from right table plus matching left. So what it will do, suppose inside this query, we have used the right join. What it will do, it will return all record from the right table, which is our right table employee. So all record from the employee table and matching left means left table is a department where all departments even if no employee. That is the right join. Then full join. Full join, what it will do, instead of inner join, we use here full join. What it will does, it will return all records from both the tables. So it is a one type of union of the both the tables. That is the first question. Difference between inner join, left join, right join. Hope you clear this. So these basic things you need to remember here. Then next question here is what is the difference between where versus having. So when to use where, when to use having. Here you check where what it does. It will filter rows before grouping. So what it will do? Where it will do filter rows before grouping. Then having filter groups after group by. So what is this? Like group by we can use where before group by, but when we use having after the group by. So here if you see, we have having after the group by. So where we doesn't have aggregate function, we cannot use aggregate function. Like for having, we have to mention aggregate condition. Inside having, we can use aggregate function. Here we have used this aggregate average salary is greater than 50,000. So that is the use case of where versus having. Then next question here is what is the difference? Interviewer will ask what is the difference between delete versus truncate versus drop. So this should be you should be clear with this as well. Like what delete will do? Delete will remove selected rows plus can roll back. Plus can roll back means we can roll back these deleted rows. Truncate remove all rows faster. It is faster than delete and cannot roll back. So what it will do? It will delete all the rows from the table. It is faster than delete, but we cannot roll back once we truncated the table. Then next here is the drop. Drop delete the entire table structure. So once you use drop, you cannot roll back that. It will delete all the table structure even if the data it consists. Then here is the query. Delete from employees where ID equal to 10. So it will delete this ID row Then truncate table employee, it will truncate the table, and drop table employees, it will drop the tables. Then next question is what is the cluster index versus non-cluster index? So this also one of the important question asked in few times, like what is the cluster index? It reorders actual table, whereas non-cluster index creates separate index structure. So it will create separate index structure. So we can create it only one per table. We can create multiple cluster index. Faster for cluster index is a faster for range queries. Non-cluster index is lower than cluster index. So here is the query which we use create cluster index name on employee ID. So we are creating a specific column. Then create non-cluster index, create non-cluster index name on employee's name. So what is the actual here if you see cluster index, what it will does? So like dictionary where word are stored in alphabetically. So suppose you have one dictionary, the word are stored in the alphabetically. What you will do, if you search for spring, it quickly goes in the section and find that words. And non-cluster index, what it will do? Like the index page at the end of the book. So index page, we have index. We can what we will do? We search that topic. We go on that page. So suppose this, what we will do? We will see this microservices. So it is on the specific page, like it is mentioned in the last of the book. Then we can go on this specific page and then we can read the actual content. So I hope you understand the difference between we can search cluster index where dictionary is alphabetically, and we can search specific word like spring and it will goes to the section, whereas it is mentioned in the last and we can go to the specific page. That is the main difference between cluster and non-cluster index. And then primary key versus unique key versus foreign key. So this is if you are a fresher at the time, this question becomes important for you because it is asked in many interviews for a fresher. Like it, you should must know this. What is the primary key? What is the unique key? And what is the foreign key? So what is primary key? So it uniquely identifies rows, and we cannot have null values in the primary key because it is we assign primary key on the ID, so it should be unique. Each record should be unique. There should not be any null values. And unique key is only restrict duplicate values. What unique key will do? It will only restrict duplicate value, allows one null. So it will allow one null. So you can remember this. It will uniquely identify, but it only restrict duplicate values. What is the then foreign key? So here if you see foreign key is a reference key from the another table. Suppose we have two tables like employee and department. So department ID is the foreign key reference in the employee table. Then it ensures referential integrity, means we can connect multiple table with this foreign key reference. Then here next question is what is normalization? There are some normalization form in the database like 1NF, 2NF, 3NF. So 1NF is like some atomic, it should be atomic values. So value should not be duplicated there. 2NF, it should have partial dependencies. Like we can connect the connect table with like employee with a department, and like vice versa based on the primary key and foreign key reference. Then third is 3NF. It should no transitive dependency for 3NF. Here you see in details like no repeating groups, and each column must contain atomic values in first NF. So that we have discussed. One cell must not contain multiple values. Suppose you have column, ID column is there. In that column, suppose you have some product. So that product have only one values like shirt and pant. You have two products. So it must not contain these two in one column. You should only contain one shirt only. So that is the difference in 1NF. Then removes partial dependency. Second enough. Then third is non-k column shouldn't depend on the another non-k column. Example like you have for example like your non-k column shouldn't like you have key primary key ID and you have another table in another table you also have a non-key column that shouldn't depend on each others. Then next question is subquery versus correlated subqueries. So here we will see what is queries versus correlated subqueries. So queries execute only once, but correlated subqueries execute for each row of the outer queries. So here is the queries. Select name from employee where salary is greater than. Select average salary from the employees. Here correlated, this is the correlated subquery which will execute each time for this salary column. That is the difference between subquery and correlated subqueries. So this is your whole is your subquery, but this is correlated subquery which will execute on each salary column each time. Then next is group by versus order by. So this will be asked in the interviews, like what is the difference between group by, order by, having. So here if you see group order by, we use after the group by because first we will use group by. So what group by will do? It will group the department based on the department column in the and it will group department and it will list the department list of department and based on that department we can use order by ascending or descending order. So in which order we want for the sorting purpose we can use order by. That is the basic difference between group by and order by. Then next here is union versus union all. So what union will do? Union will remove duplicate. Union all doesn't remove duplicate. So it will doesn't remove duplicate. So this is the basic common difference between union versus union all. What is the query? Select name from employee one table we are selecting name union all. So select name from employee two. So union all will not remove all the duplicates. It will return all the record from the both the tables. Then acid properties. So these are the one of the common question. What is the acid properties? So you have to explain this. Like atomicity. So atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. So these are the four acid properties in database. Atomicity means transaction, your transaction should be done, either done or it is completed. Means all or none. It shouldn't be a failure. Let's assume 1 second. So we are going to see atomicity. So atomicity is like, oh, you suppose you have done one transaction. The transaction from money from your account is debited, and it should be credited in the uh, another account, which is you are sending the money. So based on it shouldn't happen like you send the money, your account is debited, but it is not received in the receiver's account. That is the atomicity. Consistency. So data should be corrected. Suppose uh, you send the 100 rupees, then it should be send the 100 rupees into the receiver account. So money withdrawal from your account should be correct. So isolation, for example, what we can consider isolation example here, you are booking movie ticket. So at that time, what happens? You have selected any seat. So that seat shouldn't book by the other people. So it should be that particular seat should be isolated. Then durability. So changes should be saved into the database. That is the four common basic difference between asset properties. Then store procedure versus function. What is store procedure? Store procedure can return multiple values, whereas function return only single value. So this is the major difference between store procedure and function. Function return only single value, whereas store procedure return multiple values. So we can perform this operation with the store procedure, can perform insert, delete, update, only select and allowed. So we can create store procedure here, create procedure, get employees as select star from employees. So it is a select statement we have used here in this store procedure. Then next is how to optimize a slow query. So this must be a important question because you should know if you are experienced developer, you are having 2+ years of experience. So you should know how to optimize the queries. So how we can optimize? We can create indexes on database queries. We can avoid select star. Select star. Why select star? Because it will select the all rows. So instead of suppose you need only email. So what you will do? You will select email only, not select star because it will select all the rows from the database. So our queries will be slower with this star. So reduce join. So join as much as you can reduce because of joins. With the joins, your query will be slow. Use exist instead of in. These are the keyword we can use to return a true or false. Then analyze execution plan. So you can analyze query like you can use explain keyword or analyze keyword is there in the SQL. So that will explain you the query like what is happening there. So what is the exist versus in? Here if you see select name from employee where exist select one from department ID. So it will return us true or false if it exists or not. Then what is view? So view is a virtual table created on the table. For example, you have table employee. So based on that employee to store temporary data into the table, we create the views. So how we can create views? View employees as select name salary from employee where salary is greater than the 60,000. So here we have created VW underscore employee as a view table. Then what is a deadlock? Next question. Two transaction waiting for each other and lock resources. So this is the as one transaction is required another. So one transaction is waiting for other. So there goes into the lock state. Then next question, character versus varchar. What is the difference? So character is fixed in length, whereas variable is varchar is variable length. Means we can store character as well as numeric values in varchar. So that is the basic. This is the basic. Then what is indexing and how it works? So index store data, book index, faster search using tree structure. So like based on we have just seen, like we can create the index on the table. So based on that index, we can retrieve the specific record. For example, we have book inside book we have chapter. So based on the that index, like suppose one chapter is mentioned on the page number 35. So we can directly search that record on the 35 page and we can return that faster. That is the indexing. It will work like this. Then referential integrity. So it is we can ensure relationship between table using foreign key. So this is to refer the another table. So we can use referential integrity, that is foreign key. Then composite key, two or more column combined to uniquely identify a row. What is composite key? So two or more column combined to uniquely identify a row. We use composite key. Then last question here, what is pagination in SQL and how do you implement it? So pagination is like suppose we have 1,000 records and we want to retrieve some specific record from the database. So at that time, what we will do, we will restrict the uh, that first 100 record, then we will next page we will use next 100 record, then next page next 100. Like this, we can, it will help to improve performance of the application because all the data will not loaded at the once in the first place. That is why we use pagination. So here is the definition as well. Pagination is used to retrieve subset of rows instead of returning the entire data set at once. So what it will do, it will retrieve subset of rows instead of returning the entire database at once. Common in real-time application, like we have e-commerce application product listing. Whatever, suppose you have search product like bags. So what it will do, it will give you all the bags. It will not give you all the bags at first place. It will show only few records. Then next page you will see another records. That is how pagination work. So this you should know. Most of guys don't know this as a, because some are working as in front end application. So what happens? We use pagination in the uh, front end side itself. So how we can uh, use pagination? So for that we have queries select star from product order by ID, and we are limiting 10 record from the offset 20. So this keyword we need to use limit and offset. So what it will do, it will give first 10 record from the 10, not first record from the 10 to 20 record it will display on the page. That is all 20 question from the SQL side, guys. I hope you understand this. If you like the content, do like, share, subscribe. Comment if you have any doubt on the videos. Thanks for watching these videos.